Good morning, profitable traders. Welcome back to the market column for this week. A happy new week to everyone who is joining us today. And for those who are joining for the first time, you're welcome to the market column. Here in the market column, we analyze the markets using major currency pairs and indices as a point of reference to all the other relating currency pairs. For our analysis, we run the top-down analysis. We give you a fundamental commentary, and we also show you possible trade markups and where we expect the markets to get to during the period of the London session. These are the things that we expect to have by the end of the market column. First, we're expecting that we'll have clarity on the market and where it's heading for the day and for the week probably. And then we're looking forward to having possible trade calls that we would use to explore the markets and also make good profits from the market by the end of today's market color. Okay, my name is CJ and I'm going to be taking you through the first part of today's market color, starting off with the dollar index. Then we'll also look at Euro USD. We'll also look at GBP USD. Then we'll look at gold against the dollar, the yen basket, and then GBP JPY as well as Euro JPY for today. Okay, so sit tight and enjoy the rest of the market color as we proceed. Starting off with the dollar index. Now, if you look at the dollar index on the weekly time frame, you see that it looks as though the market and the dollar index is kind of stuck within a particular range. So, however, we also noticed a couple of weeks ago where we analyzed that the dollar index is in for a long-term sell trend. Okay, so we're expecting it to continue selling. We've even gone ahead to mark out possible places where we're expecting the dollar index to get to before it starts buying again, like heavily buying all the way to the upside, because I mean there's no fundamental supporting any buy at this time. And then based off sentiment and technicals alone, we're seeing that the dollar index might continue selling all the way to these levels we've marked, 95164 and 94524. Those are the two liquidity points we're expecting the dollar index to sweep in no distant time. Okay, now if you look at last week, what happened last week? We saw sell-off on the dollar index for the most part of last week, except for Monday and then Thursday, where you could see how the dollar index traded starting at the high point of 98 through 235 and then the low point of 97. So about quite a number of distance was kept from the high side to the low side. So you can see that dollar index also has been selling on the daily time frame after that strong retracement that happened all the way to this level right here. Right now, this level here, it's a really good point of interest. This one right here, 96650. It's a good point of interest because this would show us if the dollar index is going to keep selling to the downside. Okay, if it's going to resume the sell trend completely, this is going to be a good way to test it out. Okay, and if it doesn't break this level to the downside, that means the short-term buy trend, which is kind of a retracement, is still in play, because if you're looking at it closely, you see that on the daily time frame, there is another block right here that price has been keeping for a while. So this other block right here has been maintained by price for a couple of times, and we've seen that price has been shying away from it. Now, two things we're expecting to happen: either price comes ahead and breaks this level, or it will come to this level right here and bounce off this other block and then trade to the upside. So these are the two things that we're expecting to happen on the dollar index moving into the remaining part of this week. Okay, so either price breaks this level to the downside to resume the buy trend, or to resume the sell trend, I mean, or trade off this other block to continue the buy retracement. If you look at it on the weekly time frame, you see that it's a possible retracement that may happen all the way to this level right here. And then if you look at it on the daily time frame, you see that it's as though price is forming a buy structure, because this is the last structure right here and price has broken it off. So this other block right here might engineer a new move to the upside for the dollar index. So let's keep watching out to see what happens. But then, of course, we're going to look out for some trades that we might possibly take. And looking at what we have based off normal structure, the buy trade would most likely be the most favored among the two setups. And for that, we're looking to see a sell-off on the dollar index into this level and then a buy back to the upside. Okay, so at least even if price is buying back to the upside, it should buy all the way to some premium level so that it could continue selling. So I'm favoring a buy for the start of the week, at least Monday, Tuesday, into Wednesday. First off, we sell off for today being Monday, and then and possible buys to the upside on Tuesday and Wednesday. These are the things that I'm expecting on the dollar index. So I'll take that again. I'm expecting a sell-off into this order block, the daily order block, and then a buy back to the upside afterwards. So you can get rid of these chart markups since they are no longer useful to the chart at this time. Okay, now having done that, you can see the chart clearly now that we're expecting a sell into this level here and then a buy back to the upside afterwards. So this is what we're expecting to see on the dollar index. All right, now let's also look at Euro USD and GBP USD so that we can look out for how we can take advantage of these trade setups that we just called out. Now, looking at Euro USD, you could see that Euro USD is still looking like it has more room for the sell. I mean, looking at all this diagonal liquidity residing right here, it's making it look more juicy for Euro USD sell. I mean, you can see it right here. So I'm expecting that Euro USD may make one more sell move to the downside. Looking at the way it is structured at this point, it is good and it's at the premium level. So we might see that sell-off on Euro USD, just as we're expecting the buy-off on the dollar index, we might start seeing the sell-off on Euro USD, giving us a hint or an indicator for a dollar buy. All right, now looking at where Euro USD is, it is currently trading off this mitigation block right here. Okay, you can see this mitigation block right here. It's trading off it. And this is looking like a strong sell setup for Euro USD into this week. So we might see Euro USD sell off from this level heavily to the downside all the way to this level right here, at least this level. So for Euro USD this morning, we're expecting the sell-off to the downside. That is what we're looking out for on Euro USD. You want to see it sell off all the way to the downside. And looking at what it's currently doing, it is in a very good place to sell on the 4-hour time frame. Now looking at the 1-hour time frame as well, Euro USD is right up here at the premium level, and this is also a very good and juicy spot to take a Euro USD sell from. So we can start looking out for entries on the lower time frame or even here on the 1-hour time frame for a Euro USD short this morning. Now, if you're looking at it on the 15 minutes time frame, no entry has been spotted so far. Same thing as the 5 minutes time frame, no entry has been spotted so far. So what we're going to do right now is just wait for Euro USD to print in an entry pattern. I taught you all a couple of entry patterns last week Monday. You can go and watch the video of last week Monday. You'll see some entry patterns that I thought. So usually on Monday, we like to just teach 1 or 2 trades in the market in addition to the analysis. So one entry pattern that I'll be showing you today is what we call the engulfing entry pattern. You can go and browse that and Google that. Just type engulfing pattern on YouTube or on Google. You would find an entry that resonates with what we're saying. So if I see an engulfing pattern right here, or an evening star pattern printing out on Euro USD around this region where it currently is, I'll be taking a sell-off from that level to the downside. So all I just need to see right now on Euro USD before I take my sell is an engulfing pattern. The moment I see one, I'll be taking my sell on Euro USD to the downside. Okay, so Euro USD is looking very ripe for a sell, and I'm selling it to the downside once my entry signature is printing out, and I'll be executing immediately. Okay, so that is that for Euro USD. Now let's go over to the neighboring side of Euro USD, which is GBP USD. Looking at GBP USD on the weekly time frame, you can see that GBP USD is also looking set for another round of sell, having broken this structure here on the daily time frame and giving us a deep retracement. We're expecting the sell to continue to the downside. So on the weekly time frame, you could see that there are points of interest on GBP USD that we expected to take out right here. At this point here, it created something that looks like an inducement because price struggled to break off from this level. It just stopped right here and didn't break to the downside. So this level right here would possibly be an inducement level. So we're expecting that GBP USD will come back to break this level while trading to the downside. So my target for a GBP USD sell overall for this week is somewhere around 1.31307. So if you see me showing you or sending any GBP trade markup to the group, just know that we're looking out for this level to target for our sell off on GBP USD. Now let's look over to the daily time frame. You can also see on the daily time frame, very interestingly, that GBP USD is in this order block right here on the daily time frame, and price didn't, it looked like price just wicked off this place, but it didn't close above it. And I've told you in previous videos that anytime we're looking and we're trying to spot a break or structure, we need to see price break and close a candle above that level or below the level for us to confirm a break or structure. Just like you can see something that happened around here. Let me quickly show you that. So you can see that somewhere around here, when price wanted to break this structure, you can see that the candle closed below it. Let me zoom in a little. You can see that the candle closed below this level, all right, and then continued selling. This shows that there is a clear break or structure. But anytime you see that the candle just wicks above it, just like something that happened here, the candle just went and wicked above it, but it didn't close. It's showing us that there is just stop point that was created somewhere around there. No clear break structure yet has happened. So in that case, GBP USD is still within this order block, okay? And we're expecting it to continue selling to the downside from here. So at this point, we'll start looking out for entries on GBP USD. At first, you've seen that this first leg has already shown, this first leg of sell has already shown that possibly this could be some rejection on GBP USD from this other block. So we're expecting it to continue into this week. Looking at it on the 1 hour time frame, you would also see that GBP USD is making strong momentum to the downside. At this point, I'll be looking for a sell-off on GBP USD right now. Now, one of the places I'm expecting that sell-off to happen is this level here, this fair value gap right here on the 15 minutes time frame. I'm expecting price to get to this level. The moment price gets back to this level right here, I'll be taking my sell on GBP USD. So this is what I'm expecting. Just one move into here, and then I'll be selling. But if it doesn't get back to that level, the same thing I'm waiting for on Euro USD, I'll just wait and see if it's going to be formed on GBP USD. If I see an engulfing pattern to the downside, or I see if I am an evening star for the sell trend on GBP USD, I'll be taking my sell. So this is where I'm looking out for a sell-off on GBP USD. This is my trade markup, and I'm looking to take out the low of Tuesday because we can't be targeting the low of Monday. It's too early. The low of Wednesday, rather. The low of Monday is way too far. Of course, I know price is going to get there, but at least for starters, let's get some take profit that will encourage us into the remaining part of the week. So let's target the low of Wednesday, at least the low of midweek. It's a decent point enough to target. So for your stop loss, you can put your stop loss a little above the high of Friday, which is about 20 pips, okay? And then we're expecting it to get all the way here. So 20 pips for 62 pips profit. That is 1:3 risk to reward calculation. So this is a good setup for GBP USD. The moment price trades into this level, I'll be selling it to the downside. So I'll send this markup on the group shortly after the market color so that you can also replicate it on your chart. All right. So these are the things that I'm looking forward to seeing on GBP USD, the things I'm looking forward to seeing on Euro USD. At this point, we would like to know if anyone has a question from all that we've analyzed so far. If there is no question, then we can proceed. But if you have any question, this is the best place to ask your question so that we can all be on the same page while we are running our commentary and while we are doing our analysis. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask your question right now so that we can take it together. All right, now while you're typing your question, we're going to go on a very short break. And when we resume from this break, we are going to be analyzing gold against the dollar. We're also going to be analyzing the yen basket and the yen pairs, and then we'll be wrapping it off with GBP JPY and then Euro JPY. So stay around. Once we come back from this analysis session, we'll come back from the break rather, we'll continue with our analysis session for gold against the dollar and then the yen pairs.
So I passed. So I passed a 50K prop challenge last month with 3 trades using the exact strategy we use in the academy. And guess what? The phase 2 of that challenge, I passed it with just a single trade. with that same strategy. And this is not just only me, there are other students in the academy that they've been able to pass their prop challenge, right? Phase 1, phase 2 across different prop firms. If this is something you want to do, I mean, you want to pass your prop firm account phase 1, phase 2, and also getting funded and also making payouts from that same account, or you want to increase your profitability on your personal funded accounts, then this is a community you want to belong to. The registration for the FX Bootcamp August edition is open, and you do well to send a DM to the number showing on your screen to get you registered. I look forward to seeing you in class.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Market Call brought to you by the Valuable Trading Team. That was a very insightful analysis from CJ, and that already gave us some leverage, particularly for those of us who trade gold. You know, when you have a very deep insight on the dollar analysis, gives you a very great move for you to take in the course of the week for gold. All right, so this particular session right now, we are going to be analyzing the precious metal. From there, we will quickly get to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket, and then we move to the yen correlated pair, analyzing GBP, JPY, and also Euro JPY. All right, so let's quickly start with the precious metal this morning. And from the weekly time frame, just as we all know, we just finished, we are still in a very strong, bullish move all the way to the upside. But currently, we are stuck within a consolidation, which the daily time frame already confirmed to us. And we have been in this consolidation since April. And the question is, where are we breaking into now? Are we breaking up, or we are breaking everything down in terms of this consolidation? Are we exiting through discount, or we are still moving to the premium side? But that is one thing that we all don't know yet until we see more fundamental analysis to support the move. Then we can easily jump on it and follow it through. Although we have a lot of speculations still saying that we still towards this pair, toward the end of the year, we are still going to see the precious metal rally all the way to about the 3,700 level. And if that is going to happen, then that means we are breaking out of this range to the upside. But what we are seeing on the screen right now, we are still very much within the range. And when market is in a range, we all are expected to, just pause and stay out. But this is on a higher time frame. So when the higher time frame is in a range, then that is giving us an insight on the lower time frame. We can easily trade the premium side and also the discount side, which means when price gets to the premium of the range, we look for opportunity to short. And when it gets to the discount of the range, we look for opportunity to buy. All right. So that is what is going on right now with the precious metal, if you look at it from the weekly and daily time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, which is where we easily consider as the current higher time frame for it now because of this swing, and you can see price also on the 4-hour time frame is showing us that we are also in a range. And on Friday, we analyzed that we still want to observe price come to take out liquidity around this level, which is the premium, and this is proper premium. Then we can easily the discount rather, we can easily start buying from this discount level all the way to the premium high here. But seeing price just sitting within 4-hour range also is also a big concern to every one of us. So that gives us another shift to lower time frame, like 1 hour and 15 minutes, to see what exactly is going on and what exactly is happening, because you don't want to be trading a range within the range. All right. So what we do is we go to our 1 hour time frame to see what exactly is happening on 1 hour time frame too. 1 hour time frame is now also showing us that yes, we are still within a range, but the best move we can easily do is we've been expecting price all the way into our 4-hour POI here, which is this order block here. But instead, the price has been ranging all through last week within this zone. And if you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, just where we analyze, we see expect price to come all the way on, then resume to the upside. And looking at the analysis we had on the dollar index, we're expecting some level of bullish move on the dollar index. And if that is what is going to happen so quick, then we should expect the precious metal to turn to the downside. before the rally to the upside. So that is our expectation on the precious metal today. Now, what is the now trade on 15 minutes? Today being Monday, on the 15 minutes, we've seen how that price is currently pushing all the way to the upside. Remember, on the 4-hour time frame, we are in a range, daily range, weekly range, 4-hour range, even 1-hour range. But on 15 minutes, we see that price broke out early hours of today during the Asian session to the upside, and price is already pushing through the downside. I'm still of the opinion, two things we are going to see happen today, that price is going to pull all the way back into this fair value gap that we have here, or this Asian order block that we have here. So this is what is most likely the price trade into this fair value gap, or to tap this order block and start buying to that 4-hour POI that we have, that we've been expecting price to get into. All right, so that is the first move we are looking out for to see on the precious metal. And if price violates this move, when price gets to this zone, we want to see our bullish engulfing to start buying. But if that does not happen, then that means we are going to wait until price come all the way to take out this liquidity below here and start buying back to the upside. The reason why we are considering this buy is because price is within 1-hour range too, and when you go to your 15 minutes, you are going to see more like a buy setup around that level. But if this fails, then you are waiting for price to come all the way to take out this liquidity and we start buying to side. So that is the outlook for the precious metal today being Monday, and for the rest of the week, we are going to see the markup on the 4-hour time frame. For the rest of the week, we want to see a sell to buy, then start pushing to the downside again. So that is our outlook for precious metal today, particularly for on the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame. So a quick one to Japan to see what is happening in Japan. And if you look at it, our expectation for the yen basket still remains the same. Last week happens to be a bullish day for the yen basket, but there is no much volume for it, all right? And that is still giving us an indication of our long-term expectation that price should come and take out this weekly liquidity level and tap into this reference point. Then we can easily start the long of the yen basket to the upside. But since last week there is no much liquidity, our expectation this week still remains the same, that price should come and take out this weekly liquidity zone and tap into this reference point so that we can begin to buy. And if you look at it on daily time frame too, it's giving more like, oh, we have a buy structure here, looking like our boss pattern somewhere here, but it's not really it because we did not see that clean clear of liquidity here. This happened to be more like looking like an inducement of which price is most likely going to come back and take out this low. So I don't consider this as a boss pattern. All right. So what we are still expecting is yen basket should still turn a little bit more to the downside before we see the resumption of the buy. That is our analysis for this week. We want to see the sell to buy. That is what we are expecting for this week, and probably towards the end of this month. All right. So that is our outlook on the yen basket. And if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we are going to observe that yes, we are seeing more like what we don't confirm on the daily time frame is looking like a confirmation on the 4-hour time frame. And that is why we mark this level on Friday, last week Friday, to see exactly what price wants to do. So our bias still remains a sell-off of the yen. If it gets here, we may see some price reaction to the upside. We can follow it up, but the overall move still remains that liquidity point on the daily and weekly time frame. Price going to tap into it before we start buying to the upside. And if this is what we are seeing and expecting on the yen basket, what should we now look out for on the yen correlated pair? Starting with GBP JPY. For GBP JPY on the daily time frame, we all can see that price has been itching all the way up, and the levels we expect it to get to still remains this reference point here. So this week is going to be a very dynamic one because we are going to see some slight, change in move between GBP JPY and GBP USD this week. And as you can see, this is the level we are expecting for GBP/JPY. So we want price to still buy all the way into this POI, and we can easily start selling to the downside. When price gets to this POI on the daily time frame, we are good to go for the sell of GBP/JPY. And looking at it right now, if you observe the other yen baskets, yen pairs rather, if you trade them in baskets, you are going to observe that one out of them has already completed its own move, just waiting for the others. And that is why we are expecting that particular one to range for this week, even towards the end of the month, until others get to their POI. For GBP/JPY, we are still expecting to buy all the way to the zone on the daily time frame. While on the 4-hour time frame too, the same thing is still going on. Yes, about in the course of the weekend, I was looking at the chart with some people, and he said, this is market structure shift. If you look at it, this is not really it until we see IMT expecting price upside, then we begin to see the break to the downside. All right, so that is what we are looking at for GBP/JPY. So we still expect more long to the upside before the sell. Now, if this is it, then we can go to the 1-hour time frame. Since we won't just hold our hands, and we should look for where we can easily join the buy all the way to the upside. Now, if you want to look at where you can easily join the buy of GBP/JPY, then that means you are going to wait a bit for price to get to this zone here. Price should come and take out liquidity here, and price, buying, selling all the way into this zone. Then this is going to be the level where you can first consider the buy all the way to the upside. We're coming all the way here. So this is going to be a good one for GBP/JPY buy. All right. So all the way to the daily reference point at the top there. So that is the first outlook for GBP/JPY. But let's go to 15-minute time frame to see the current move on the 15 minutes. So on the 15 minutes, I have not seen any clear move, just the way we said on Friday. On Friday, we were expecting price to come and take out during the analysis. We're expecting price to take out this low, then we can easily consider a buy to the upside. But price just moved closer to it and react from this point, this other block, and reacted back to the upside. So this week also, today particularly, two things will happen. Is that we see price sell furthermore to take out liquidity here, or come all the way and tap into this hour POI for a buy, and we start buying to the upside. But right now, what to the downside currently? But if not, let's wait until price gets to our buy zone, which is this level here on the daily time frame. Then we join the overall sell of GBP/JPY. Now the NPS that is giving us indication of what we should look out for on the other yen correlated pair happens to be EUR/JPY. And if you look at EUR/JPY on the daily time frame, we are going to observe that it already got into its own POI, taken out daily liquidity, tapped into daily reference point with another block. If we ever look at another block here, and price already got there, and that is why we have this current move. So that last week Friday we said something like, this week we are mostly going to see EUR/JPY range for a lot of objective, or as others get there quickly, then it's going to fall massively. So if we are going to see the sell of EUR/JPY this week, it's going to be a very big one for EUR/JPY, all right, because it already is just waiting for the other correlated pairs for them to achieve their own goal. And if you look at 4-hour time frame, we are going to observe, yes, we have more like a boss pattern already formed there, and we've seen the break and sweep of liquidity. Now we're expecting further sales of EUR/JPY to the downside, of which we are still going to see it just stay within this range or just buy a little bit to the upside. So the levels we are considering to start selling EUR/JPY from happens to be somewhere here. So we are expecting to start seeing the sell-off of EUR/JPY somewhere within this zone. And this, when you refine to your 1-hour time frame, you are going to see it. So the whole of this place is still the sell zone. So today, we can still see much push to the upside for price to get to this level, and we'll start selling EUR GBP to the downside. So look at it from the 1 hour perspective. What exactly do we have there? Yes, the last move for last week, since Tuesday last week, we are seeing more like a bust pattern currently from somewhere here, and that is where price came to tap during the Asian session, and this sell is selling. And that is why we are looking at the sell of GBP JPY, where it is currently, to get to the level where it can sell more. All right. Right now for EUR JPY, since price already tapped into the sell reference point, we are going to see it push to the downside, but the sell is still going to be improving, meaning it's going to sell from this premium to this discount. So let's look at the 15 minutes to where EUR JPY is most likely to sell into. All right, so for EUR JPY, I'm expecting it to take out Friday low. This is it here. So this said should, all things being equal, should take out Friday low. So how do we now join this sell to the downside right now? So if price could reverse or pull back a little bit into this zone that we have here, then we can easily join this sell of EUR JPY. The price could pull back a little bit here. So this is going to be a very good level to sell EUR JPY from. All right. So this is going to be it for EUR JPY sell with your SL just above here. That is about 15 pips or so. All right. So that's going to be 1 hour range. All right. So that is the outlook for EUR JPY and also for GBP JPY. If there's any question, you can easily ask. Let's quickly address it. And if there's no question, this is going to be the end of the analysis brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. And, we expect some level of liquidity in the market, and also always trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy well. All right. Again by 2 p.m. this afternoon for the New York recap. Make sure you trade cautiously. Cheers and God bless.
Prop challenge last month with 3 trades using the exact strategy we use in the academy. And guess what? The phase 2 of that challenge, I passed it with just a single trade with that same strategy. And this is not just only me, there are other students in the academy that they've been able to pass their prop challenge, right? Phase 1, phase 2 across different prop firms. If this is something you want to do, you want to pass your prop firm account phase 1, phase 2, and also getting funded and also making payouts from that same account, or you want to increase your profitability on your personal funded accounts, then this is a community you want to belong to. The registration for the FX Bootcamp August edition is open, and you do well to send a DM to the number showing on your screen to get you registered. I look forward to seeing you in class. So